Dear students of HSC first year, this class 11, Assalamu alaikum and good morning to everybody. I hope you are well by the grace of the Almighty Allah and you are always busy with your studies sincerely and doing everything as usually, and also you are always careful about your health and hygiene in this pandemic situation. Dear students, you know our English subject in intermediate class, you should not count it is as a subject only. It is not only a subject. It is also a language. So it's different from other subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, accounting, management, civics, philosophy, Islamic studies. Some are different. We are getting two types of benefits from these subjects. In one side it is subject. If we consider it in another angle, it is a language. It is not a very trivial or trivial language. It is a very important language. It's an international language without which the development of the present world is very often become obstacled or hindered, not only in our country, all over the world. So dear students, one thing remember, language is nothing. It implies knowledge of words and sense of grammar. One of the grammatical items in English language is articles. Articles in English grammar is very important. The words a, an, and the, known as articles, present problems for most speakers of English as an additional language. This is not surprising since there is no equivalent construction in many languages, and those languages that do have articles do not necessarily use them in the same way as English. It is often difficult to decide whether an English noun needs an article before it, and if so, which article, a, an, or the to use. The main things to consider when choosing an article are whether or not the noun is countable and whether it is definite. Countability means that the noun can be made plural. For example, book or books. This is something you can check in a learner's dictionary of English. Whether a noun is definite or indefinite depends on whether you and your reader or listener both know what you are referring to. The following pages give you some guidelines on what makes a noun countable and or definite. Much of the information is based on the work of Master in 1986 and Soils and Fick 1994. When you have to decide whether to use an article and which article to use, consider this chart for choosing the right article. Is the noun singular and countable? Yes, Is it definite? Yes and no. If yes, article is the. If no, article is a or an. Is the noun plural or uncountable? Yes. Is it definite? If yes, the article is the. If no, there will be no article. That is, you have to put in the blank space cross. For example, I bought a book. Book is a singular, countable noun. Therefore, it has to have an article. Your reader doesn't know which book you are referring to. Therefore, it is indefinite. The book I bought is interesting. The book is again a singular, countable noun. Therefore, it has to have an article. In this case, you know which book you are referring to. The book you bought, so it takes a definite article. More details on the definite article are given below. I like the books you gave me. Books is a plural noun. It is used in a definite sense. We know which books, the books you gave me. So it takes a definite article. I like books. Books is a plural noun. It is used about books generally, not specific books. So it takes no article. Blood is thicker than water. Blood and water are singular, uncountable nouns. They are used in a general sense. Therefore, they do not need an article. I bought 2 books. You do not need an article because you already have the word to. I bought some books. You do not need an article because you already have the word some. How do you know whether you need an article and which article to use? A single countable noun must have an article if there is no other number, determiner or possessive, for example, to, our, this. If the noun is plural, an article may not be necessary. Look first in your noun. A house. You do not need an article because you already have the possessive our. This year. You do not need an article because you already have the determiner this. Car. You need an article because this is a singular countable noun which no determiner already. Trees. You may need an article depending on whether noun is definite or not. For example, trees are usually green. No article is needed because you are taking generally and the noun is not definite. That is, you are not talking about specific trees. The trees in the park are green. The article is needed because you have specified which trees you are talking about. Indefinite article, that is a or an. If the noun is singular and countable and this is the first time you have mentioned it, then you will usually need the indefinite article. I bought a book. We do not know which book. There is a bird outside. We do not know anything about the bird. Measurements and rates also take the definite article. 3 times a week. If the noun starts with a vowel, then the article an is used and your and uncle and awe. If the noun starts with a consonant sound, then the article a is used. A school, a university. Definite article, that is the. If a reader or listener understands what you are referring to, then you will usually need the definite article. I bought a book last week. The book is about trees. You have just mentioned the book, so you both know which one. We went to a wedding yesterday. The bride wore a lovely dress. You have not mentioned the bride before, but you both know she is connected to the wedding. Some things are taken to be common knowledge in English, and therefore take the definite article. Decades. He was born in the 1920s. Currencies. The dollar is getting stronger against the pound. Superlatives and ordinals. The second book in the series is the best. Oceans, seas, and many rivers. The Nile flows into the Mediterranean. Plural or united countries. The Maldives are much smaller than the United States of America. Adjective used as nouns. The poor will always be a challenge for the rich in any country. Many organizations, the World Health Organization has a detailed definition of health. A scientific categorization. The zebra is native to Africa. A symbol. The merlion is a symbol of Singapore. Unique people, places or things. The Prime Minister said she would call a conference on changes affecting the Earth's climate. Unique adjectives. The same people always take the only parking spaces available. Other word patterns which take the specific nouns modified by a relative clause. The paintings within bracket which are in the gallery. Specific nouns followed by of. This is a very common pattern. The use of this procedure. Plural nouns preceded by of. For example, some of the paintings were interesting. Common errors. You cannot write most of paintings or noun or none of paintings. It is either most of the paintings definite or most paintings general. Most of the paintings in the exhibition were landscapes. Definite, we know which specific paintings they are in the exhibition. Most paintings nowadays general, no specific paintings. No article. We do not need an article if a noun is plural or uncountable and it is not definite. Women generally live longer than men. Articles are difficult to use. Paint is hard to remove. Thank you very much, my dear students, and I am advising you, please go through your prescribed books along with other books written by efficient writer, good writer, resourceful writer. Then I think if there is any confusion or any suspension about article. The article is easy, after then it's not so easy, because whether it will be cross or the, you will get some confusive situation. For this reason, you have to go through articles very perusally and in detail. Then it will be fruitful on your part to answer fully and to get the expected marks. Thank you very much for being with me. May Allah bless us all. Allah Hafiz.